Hi, it's Femke from Kelowna Now, and I'm sitting down with Tara and Robyn from Crimson Hair Salon. So I heard you guys were nominated for Best Beauty Salon, Hair Extensions, Hair Salon, and TikToker. So how does that feel?
Well, it's a lot, so we're very, very thankful. I think it's great that you guys do that for our community, for small businesses. So thank you very much for Kelowna Now for giving us that opportunity, because I think it really helps small businesses get a little bit more notice and a little bit more reconciliation. Reconciliation?
Yeah.
Sure.
Recognition.
That's what I was going for. Within the communities. So, I mean, we work really hard towards it, and all the girls at the shop, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Something to do every year.
Yeah, it is. And I think our clients really enjoy it too, being able to support us as well too. So thank you for everyone that voted for us, and thanks for hosting it. So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's nice to celebrate things.
Yeah, so can you tell us what we're going to do today?
What are we doing today?
We're going to be talking curly hair.
Curly hair! Curly hair day! You got the memo. We're doing curly hair. Yes, curly hair girls. We're here for you. We're going to go from start to finish, what to do, what not to do, products, haircuts, styling tips, everything. The whole thing. So we're going to just break it down.
Okay. So what are the main types of hair textures, and how do they differ from one another?
Okay. This is a good question, because you have different hair.
Yep.
I've got different hair. You've got
Yes.
different hair. So we actually brought a photo, because it's really going to help everyone at home just really see the difference between curly hair and texture. This is something that is online. I think I just Googled
Curly hair types.
Curly hair types. Yeah. So this is just I don't know. This is what hairstylists use to differentiate curly hair.
Yeah. Identify what you would see your hair would look like. Not everybody knows they have that curly hair until they get it wet and scrunch up a little bit. And this is it. So you can look from all the way from a 2A to a 4C, kind of pick what you think your hair would look like. And for all three of us, we're all a little different, actually.
Yeah. We're all a little different. And actually, we all probably have 2 to 3 different patterns in our hair type. So someone might be a little bit more on the wavy side, like a 2C, but then maybe underneath, where it's usually curly, in the nape area, you might be a little bit more of a 3A or 3B, where there's a little bit more ringlets. So usually most curly hair girls do have 2 to 3 different kinds of texture in their hair. So, we'll use Robyn, for example. Robyn has definitely got a little bit more of the spiral curl.
Yeah.
So she's a little bit more in the 3 category, where I'm a little bit more wavy. My hair isn't really spiraling like that corkscrew curl. I'm a little bit more wavy. I'm a little bit more volume. And then if we look at you, you've got a little bit of that as well, right? We've got some waves. We've got a little bit of spiral in here. So this is going to really help that photo when any curly girl is going to look for their products. Most professional products actually do have a photo or say something like wavy hair, curly hair, corkscrew curls. So when you're looking at products to choose for yourself, that photo hopefully will help break down what products to use for your hair.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with that texture of the curl as well, you're also going to keep in mind, is your hair a little bit finer or is it a little bit thicker? So my hair is very thick. It's very coarse. All the curly hair is also dry to begin with too. So I've got a lot of frizz and a lot of texture, where Robyn,
it's a lot softer, a lot more fine. When I actually have my hair straight, it's very flat, flat to my head, staticky, because it is quite dry. So when I wear it curly, I actually get the volume, but I have to use product to get that way and a good haircut. But that's the main difference. I actually don't have a lot of frizz, thankfully, and it's not textured. So if anything, I'm actually trying to add texture back into my hair.
Where I have the exact opposite. Yes. I have frizz, I have texture. I'm trying to change that down and give it more wave and a little bit more control.
Yeah, my hair is very thin.
Yeah.
And also if I don't style it, it's not as curly.
You probably get a little bit more flatness, right? Kind of similar to Robyn.
Yeah.
So you guys would probably get similar haircuts too. And so with product and haircuts, you're going to cut it in a way that's going to help lift that and help fill
Yeah, I
that
also
up.
have layers in my hair to just bring that curl out more.
Yes.
Very important.
Yeah, curly hair, we want layers.
Layers.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that too after, because my hair right now is actually not cut for my curl. I don't really wear my hair naturally curly, where Robyn wears her hair naturally curly, so her haircut is actually designed for curly hair. So we'll touch on that after our product knowledge. Should we dive in?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we'll start with Robyn, and we're going to talk about what products she uses for her finer, limper, staticky
dense
hair.
hair. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'll tell you what my curly hair day looks like. So
Yeah.
take it away.
So it's a pretty intense regimen. As I think a lot of curly girls know, it's not just washing and it's not brushing. Like, you have to have quite a bit of a routine if you want your curls to last for more than a day, which of course, if you're doing all this work, then yes, we want it to last more than a day. So I start by brushing my hair out because I probably haven't brushed it in about 3, maybe 4 days. So I brush it all out, get in the shower, shampoo with whatever shampoo you like. I like to use a nice hydrating one, maybe a bit of a clarifying shampoo before if you have a lot of product buildup. So if you're finding your hair is not lathering, it's not washing, use a clarifying first because it just needs to get in there, clean the scalp, and then you go back in with your regular hydration shampoo or curly hair shampoo. And then once that's in, you wash it out and put your conditioner in, comb that through. I like to use a wet brush or a Denman brush, which is also a brush designed for curly hair. Rinse that out after a couple minutes, and then it begins. Then it all begins.
And the magic starts, yeah.
So then I like to tip upside down because, like I said, my hair's flat. So I like to get volume. I tip all the way upside down, brush my hair with my Denman brush, and then while my hair's soaking wet, that's when I dump in a good like palm size amount of product, and that would be my curl cream is what I'll put in there, and I will just rake it through from like root to tip on my ends and just scrunch it really good, and you're almost going to hear like a squish. Like, you need to hear the squish, and that is good because that means it's actually getting onto your hair, getting into your hair. And then I also like to put in a leave-in conditioner as well to help with any bit of frizz, more hydration, and slip as well. And then it's also going to help with like having your hair not be in the elements as much. So heat protection, you are diffusing, so we have some heat on the hair.
Yeah.
And then maybe a couple days later, I might be putting heat on my hair. So I want to make sure it's in there. That's very
protection.
key. We all like leave-in conditioner.
Leave-in conditioner.
It's important.
I did that the last time too. I was like, leave-in conditioner.
It's so important.
So important.
If you're going to do anything, it's leave-in conditioner.
Leave-in conditioner.
Yeah, but I need that curl cream as well because my hair is quite dry. And then after all that, it's still soaking wet. And then I go in and put my gel. And I like a really firm gel. It's called a gel cast. So you get a lot of gel onto your hands, really work it in like I did with my styling cream. I actually kind of do what's called a praying hand method. So you take your hands and you do this. You don't want to rake through with your fingertips because then you will be disrupting your curl pattern. So everything's soaking wet and I'm just gently going like this, getting it everywhere. And then that's it for the shower. I plop it up into a microfiber towel or a cotton t-shirt because regular towels will disrupt your curl pattern as well. It'll make it frizzy.
No frizz.
No frizz. No, it just kind of grabs onto those curls and we don't want that. So you plop it up. I tie it up nice and loose at the top of my head and leave it be for however long I need to in the morning to get ready. And then we just start diffusing. So I take it down gently, put my hair upside down, and just gently take my diffuser and start drying. I try not to disrupt it again too much. I don't want to be up there like messing around with it. Just gently with that diffuser until it's almost hard because I have that gel in there. So that's the cast I'm talking about.
That's the cast.
The cast is important.
Yeah.
Keeps those curls because my hair's fine and very delicate. If we didn't have gel on there, it would kind of fall. And I wouldn't have these nice defined ringlets without that gel kind of holding it into place. But that being said, we don't like crunchy hair.
No crunchy
Nobody
hair.
wants crunchy hair.
And then you don't brush your hair until...
We don't brush it.
Okay,
No.
so that's
No
my mistake.
brushing.
I brush
No
my
brush.
hair every day.
No brushing.
Yeah.
Brushing is going to, like she keeps on saying, it's going to break up the curls, and we don't want to disturb the curl. The more, if I took this out of my hair right now and raked my hand through my hair, my frizz, especially because I have so much frizz already, it is going to balloon out, and it's just going to break everything up. So with Robyn saying you're forming that cast with the gel, it's really going to take your really corkscrewy pieces and really defined it and like solidify it into place. So when you're doing curly hair, our whole thing is we're setting the hair. We're really setting it. So even with the diffuser and stuff, we're not blow drying it to like bone straight dry. We want to like leave a lot of that moisture in there and that hydration so that we're forming those casts and we're eliminating frizz. So after that cast is formed and now your hair is dry because you're like air dried a little bit, then you can go up and break that cast.
Yeah. So once my hair is like 80% dry from the diffuser, I like to say, okay, now I can feel that my hair's got that crunch to it. And instead of brushing it like you would think to do, I actually take a little bit of serum or a little bit of an oil and put it in your palms and do what's called scrunch out the crunch.
Scrunch out the crunch.
So just take your hands and literally just scrunch it. Just scrunch it and kind of give it a light little shake, a little movement, but just kind of give it that scrunch effect, and that will actually help break up that cast a little bit so it doesn't feel like your hair is straw and it's covered in gel. It makes it a lot softer. If your gel is kind of still feeling sticky after that, then it might not be the right gel for your hair. You just kind of have to know once you've done it. It feels very soft after. Like my hair does not feel crunchy at all, and I have a lot of gel in there. And also, while your hand has still got that little bit of serum on it, I like to take my fingertips and just get a little bit at the top and give it a little shake. Because sometimes with flat hair and fine hair, it's stuck to your head still up at the root. And I just like to give it a little shake, a little movement, but I'm not raking through. I'm not touching this, just giving a little movement, and that'll help soften your hair and make it look more wearable for the day.
Okay.
Yeah. I think our biggest thing with curly hair is enhancing it, but still making it look natural. And like, you woke up like this, but really, we spent a good hour making it look like this. And I think that goes with any hairstyle. Everyone's like, oh, it looks so nice and natural. And you're like, oh, thank you.
Woke up like this now.
We were up at 6 a.m. doing our hair. So that's always the trick to any beauty tip. So it's good. So I mean, my hairstyling days are a little bit similar to Robyn's. I use just quite a bit more product. So how often do you wash your hair?
I like to do it every 7 days, but sometimes it could be maybe twice a week. I try really hard not to. Because I do have the curls and I also have color, like little funky colors in. So I try not to wash it more, but 7 ideally.
I'm the same way.
Yes.
So again, naturally curly hair is naturally dry to begin with too. So if you're washing it every day, you're actually just creating more frizz as well because you're drying out your hair more with shampooing all the time. So myself included, I wash my hair once a week. So if I'm washing my hair once a week, I have so much natural buildup. I use so much product from curling my hair. I'm also someone that puts serum on my ends every day as well. So when I'm shampooing, I really need to get that buildup off my hair. So starting your first shampoo with the clarifying shampoo to get off your gel, your serums, your creams, your leave-in conditioner, your buildup from the week. If you work out, dry shampoo, like that is a lot of product for a week. So a clarifying shampoo is a great way to like cleanse everything and start really fresh. Robyn, you said you use a hydrating shampoo.
Yes.
I do as well, but my conditioner is a lot heavier than Robyn's. I use like a really deep, heavy mask. It is like thick. If Robyn used that, she would look greasy when she came out of the shower. My hair is like, oh, thanks. That was a nice drink of water. So I am like coating that in the shower. I'm raking that through my ends. I'm using like a wet brush or something to really hydrate that in the hair. And I'm really letting that set in. So I'm using a lot heavier products than she is. But same thing. After that, I come out of the shower. Leave-in conditioner. Leave-in conditioner. Robyn, use a spray conditioner.
I do.
Yep. So again, I'm going in with something heavier. I'm using a cream-based conditioner because my ends need that extra hydration. So mine again is a little bit heavier, but I can handle it. So I'm going with my leave-in conditioner. Again, we're using it on like sopping wet hair. And then same thing, I'm tipping upside down. I'm using my mousse and I'm actually raking that mousse in roots to ends. So I'm not combing it or anything, but I really want to make sure my hair is fully saturated because I have so much more frizz than Robyn does. I need that extra oomph, like roots to ends, so that my frizz is somewhere on planet Earth and not out here. So I'm raking that through. I'm also doing a cast. So again, I'm probably using double the amount of gel that she's using to form that because, again, I need that control. And then same thing, we're using the diffuser. So we actually brought a diffuser. We're going to show you when we do our styling tips how to tip upside down and how to really like get that in there. And same thing, we are just gently, the thing with curly hair, gentle. We're not like raking it through. We want to keep that curl intact. So we're diffusing till about 80% dry. And the reason why we're doing that, again, with my frizzy hair, if I blow dry my hair bone dry with the diffuser, your ends are already dry. So if I'm trying to get my roots dry and this is already dry, the blow dryer is just blow drying this and it's just frizzing it around more. So we want to make sure that everything is coherent and just air drying at the same time. So about 80% dry is good. And then after that, I go back in and I'm like, okay, did I like maybe not use enough product here? Does this need a little bit more serum? You can actually, I mean, the miracle with curly hair is go in and wet it down again if you screw up or something happens. And you can add more product. You can tweak it. You can actually like go in and take little pieces and curl and like set it. So, I mean, I think the best thing about curly hair is you're like, oh no, it's too frizzy. Oh no, it didn't work today. You can like re-wet it and like start all over again. So going back to that hair photo with the different curl patterns on there, it's really important to find the products that are right for your hair. So like with our wavy girls and stuff like that, they're probably going to want to use something a little bit more oomph to activate that curl a little bit more. Whereas like the 3C, if they don't need as much product to like activate it, they don't really have to.
It's more about controlling the curl at that point. Like when you're up into that 3C to 4C, that's going to be a whole different ballgame. You're really trying to hydrate the hair, but you're also trying to keep it in place more so than trying to create volume.
That's more of the control.
You
you're trying to control that curl. And then the 4s, I mean, 4s are, if you're a 4 curly hair girl, you know. But that's, I mean, you could see it's more of almost like a crimped or like a very curly tight curl. So again, they're using even triple the amount of product that I'm using.
Totally because different stuff.
And then their hair is even more dry.
And more porous too. Like it's more open to damage and everything. You wouldn't think it would be. It looks like it's so strong and it's like a whole mass of hair, but actually all that hair is so easily damaged because it's actually quite delicate. Doesn't
delicate.
look it, but
curly hair is very delicate. It is. You got to be gentle with it. You got to whisper sweet nothings to it. And actually, Robyn and I were laughing on the way here, and I was like, okay, we're gonna wear our hair naturally curly, and I was like, let's pray that we have nice curly hairs because what happens?
It doesn't always work. Like,
it does not always work.
Some days you wake up and you've done all the same steps from top to bottom, and it just doesn't work.
Your hair is kind of like, no, I don't want to.
Not today.
No.
And every curly person will know. Like, they know those days. Like you try and you're like, what? Why? Whereas in some days you don't try, and some days they work.
It's
and you're
perfect.
like, okay, well. You just kind of have to roll with it.
You got to roll the punches. And then we'll show you some styling tips later as to what to do in those situations because we all have those situations.
They happen.
And then also like what happens when we travel.
Oh my gosh, traveling is a whole different thing.
We went to Mexico for her wedding, and the 3 of us from the salon went. We all have curly hair, and we were like, okay,
what are we gonna do?
Whatever happens, because we look like totally different people when we travel.
Oh yeah, like the humidity compared to where we live here. Oh my gosh, yeah. And we all have totally different curly hair too, so. It was really interesting what happened.
There wasn't photos taken, put it that way. No, we were fine. But I mean, Kelowna is super dry. We know that. Kelowna is super dry. It is a desert. So anytime you go somewhere like Mexico or something like that too.
Even Vancouver.
Or like East Coast even, Canada, whatever. You might even have to switch up your products again in regards to what you need for over there.
Or people that move here don't realize that they have to switch up what they've been using all this time. If you've lived in somewhere that's humid, you're used to trying to like work with that humidity. Then they move here and they're like, why are my curls not working? Like, well, unfortunately, it's just a very different climate and you have to switch it up.
I lived in a really like humid climate and my hair's like my curls were thriving there. But then when I moved here, it was like, what happened?
Here you're kind of somewhere dry. You're really like forcing and you're really trying to activate it. Whereas, you know, somewhere that has that extra humid, that extra water, the moisture in the air, it's
our curls
like,
love that.
Okay, I know what to do. And you're like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But that being said, if you are somewhere humid, you're not probably going to be using as heavy of products. Because if you have too much heaviness in there, then it's going to do the opposite. It's actually going to weigh it down because you've got too much moisture now. So you gotta find that even balance between hydration and control and
somewhere in there.
Yeah. So it's a lot of practice. It's a lot of trialing.
Yeah. Try it all. Try because we've all tried different methods and different techniques. Like doing hair, we see it all the time. Yeah. And everybody will tell you, like, this is how I do it at home. And I'm like, well, it works for you because your hair is beautiful. Yeah. So I might actually try that because that's a new technique I've never thought to do. Yeah. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So
I feel any client that comes into my chair, new, old, anything, I'm always like, how do you do your curls at home? Because everyone does have a different technique. And like my clients have even taught me like, oh, this is what I do. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, oh, I'm going to try that too. And it might not work for me. But then someone like Robyn, I'm like, oh, someone told me this, you should try it. And she's like, oh my God, that worked amazingly. So yeah, you gotta do a little research. You gotta ask all the questions. But I mean, again, our door is always open for consultations, shampoo, blow dry styles.
Yeah, just do a style with us and we can talk about it more in depth.
Yeah, and we have little samplers too. So if there's anything you want to try to take home and work with it yourself. I hate when people come in and they have like liters and gallons and potions under their station or under their stuff at home. And you know, they're like, oh, I bought all this product and it didn't work. And I'm like, oh, like,
tell us.
Tell us or return it or give it back or give it to your niece or somebody that will use it. And come in for little samplers or consultations too. So you're not wasting
because it's a lot. It's a lot. Under that bathroom sink is always a dumping zone for everybody. You reach in the back and you're like, oh, maybe I'll try that again. And it still doesn't work because it never did in the beginning. So
and it can get expensive.
It does get expensive.
Yeah, it adds up really quick. So free consultations. And then we're always happy to give out samplers or show you how to do it and all that kind of stuff. So I hope that helped with product knowledge for our curly hair girls out there. You can always reach out to us. So
yes, please do.
So
we love curly hair, so we always want to do it.
Yeah. That being said, with products and textures, I think haircuts are very important.
Yes, they are.
Do you want to talk about my lovely haircut?
Yes. Or lack thereof.
Lack thereof. Okay. I am a good example of kind of what not to do.
Like, it's just not, Tara doesn't have it cut for curly hair. She actually doesn't wear it curly very often. She tends to straighten it out and curl it. It tends to last her a lot longer. You can last a whole week and your curls are still, your curled hair is still perfect. So when you wear it naturally curly, it's not designed for that because she doesn't wear it that way, and that's totally fine. So it's actually quite, almost all one length, and then she's got a few layers near the bottom that we've given her just for a little texture, but she doesn't like to do more than that. Any shorter, when she wears it straight, it tends to be kind of choppy on her. Yeah. So we like to have it pretty even with just like a little bit of movement at the bottom, but that's about it, which is why you're not seeing any movement in here with the curls. Like right now it looks very flat, which with the frizzy hair, it's not the bad thing, not a bad thing, but it's just not creating that shape that a lot of curls like as we like to see. So that's why it's not sitting that way. And then on the sides here, she does have the layers. So that's very key. Curly or not, to have a little bit of softness around the face is so nice to have. And then with that curl, her curls are actually sitting quite nice around the face because they're a little shorter, a little more textured. So that's kind of why it sits that way. And then if she added more layers, it would give a little bit more movement, but she doesn't wear curly very often. So there's no need.
I'm kind of a good example right now of an everyday curly girl that kind of doesn't know what to do with their curls.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm kind of a good example of somebody that just gets a haircut. I decided to wear my hair naturally curly, but I'm like, oh, it's not, my hair doesn't curl nice. Why is it not curly nice? And it's because it's kind of not cut for my texture and for the shape of my hair and like the dimension. So when I do, I've had shorter layers put in before and stuff, but when I do curl it where it's straight, because my hair is so textured, it actually does the opposite when I'm styling. It goes too big. It goes too choppy. I get like a little mushroom cap because my layer is too short.
Yeah.
My
My hair's so thick.
And my hair's so thick.
Yeah.
So it just like goes crazy. But if I did that exact same haircut for curly hair, my hair would have a lot more dimension. It would have a lot more movement. It would have a lot more broken upness. If you kind of look right now, I'm very full down here.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of just flat and full. So it's not very flattering. Where do I want to go here? This way. Whereas even if I just pick that up there, let's say my layers were there, can we see the difference between like just that
difference.
breaking up, that if I just had that one little layer just right there, even look at how much more that got like kind of broken up versus this side here being so full and almost like triangular. With curls, we really want to access shape and movement and body. So we're going to show, Robyn's going to do my hair after, and we're going to show you kind of some styling techniques to give the illusion like you have some layers in there, and show how to break up hair that is a little bit more flat or not getting enough volume. So
Like if you don't want to have to change your haircut necessarily, if you're not going to be wearing it like that all the time. So there are ways to kind of trick your eye into thinking there's layers in there, and just
an
little
illusion.
that is an illusion. Yeah. Doesn't have to be full time.
your haircut is perfect. Like we can see she's got her fringe for one, so that's already giving you movement and frame. She's got her beautiful little pieces in here, which is
little pieces.
just breaking it up. And then I'm going to pull up one of your layers, okay? Actually, when was the last time you had a haircut?
Not that long ago.
Oh, really? I feel like you can go. Wait, you've been shorter than this even.
I have, yeah.
So we can see where her first layer is actually hitting. It's actually quite
right in here,
short.
usually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like if you look more in the front here, we can see that this little top layer is actually sitting kind of right in here.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll go shorter and it'll be more up in here. But I've been wearing my hair up a lot lately, so I've been trying to have a little length there. But generally, I like to have these bits in the front short, definitely, because that's where I have very little hair. It's very fine. So I like to have them defined a little bit. I'll pull my hair back and I'll have all these little pieces coming through.
Yeah.
And that's generally how I'll wear my hair when it's curly. On day 3 or 4, I'll have it up and then I'll bring these little pieces down for a little softness. But if I didn't have those layers all around here, it just wouldn't have that same shape. My hair is only to here. It's not super long. So I need this movement right in here to create fullness.
Yeah.
My hair is very fine, like I was saying. So if I had it all one length, it wouldn't be sitting very voluminous at all, no matter how much scrunching and mousse and gel I'm putting in. I need those layers. And you think with fine hair that some people are scared to do layers. It's scary because they're like, I need the density.
The fullness down here.
Yeah, and you do. Like, I definitely agree you can over texture fine hair for sure. We've all seen it. But there is a balance. So a really good haircut, a good like rounded layers, lots of them, lots of blending. That's very key. Lots of blending.
No steps.
Yeah.
No steps.
We don't want to see little steps in the curls. And if you have curly hair and you've had a bad haircut, we know. You know what that looks like, and we try to avoid that, right? So,
it doesn't hide. It's like, boop, there's a layer, and
sticking right out, or a little mushroomy,
blending.
or whatever it is. It's all the blending.
Yeah. So I think getting a good haircut for your type of hair. Again, my hair is going to be cut way differently than Robyn's hair. So making sure that you're having that conversation with your stylist when you're coming in, and also like how you are planning on wearing your hair on the daily. Are you a wash and go? Are you a scrunch and go? Are you someone more that styles their hair every day, like with the curling iron and stuff? So wanting to activate those curls versus hiding those curls. Yeah. Right? So haircutting 101 is super, super, super important. Yeah. And then going into more of those like really curly girls, like when we were back to the like 3 category of like the 4, really type, 4 categories. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Where it's like corkscrew, pin scroll, almost like a zigzaggy, crimpy. We are cutting those girls completely differently.
Totally different. We do it dry, actually.
We do it dry.
We do dry cuts. We don't want it to, I've seen it time and time again where they've come in with their hair up in a tight bun. It's been in a bun for 3-4 days, and they take it out, and it's crazy, of course. It's been in a bun, and it's curly. And in that instance, we can't just cut it because it's kinked out, and it's been brushed, and it's been disturbed. So we prefer to actually do that haircut dry. I like to see it in its natural state. Like how you style it at home. Come in with it styled. And then we can see, okay, I can kind of see this curl isn't sitting right. It's got to go. and we can see the exact shape that we are cutting. So actually, if you have that type of hair and you're wanting to come get a haircut, preferably please have it styled.
Yeah.
And we can just cut it dry. It's pretty quick, and you can actually see physically like what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you can also be assured that we're not cutting into it too much, because we're not trying to find where that curl sits.
Yeah.
It's actually just where it's supposed to be.
It's doing what it's supposed to do. One of my clients has that very, very tight curly curl. And one side of her hair actually jumps up 2 inches more than the right side. Because this, for some reason, this curl pattern, again, how we were saying, like, there's different curl patterns within curly hair. The one side is way more tighter than the other side. So because she wears her hair curly every single day and diffuses it and everything, when I'm cutting her hair, because I know this side's going to jump up like 2 more inches than this side, I'm actually cutting her an uneven haircut so that when everything dries, it's actually a full perimeter. If I were to pull everything straight down on wet hair, cut it straight across, when that jumps up and dries, it's actually going to finish like this. So that's why doing it on the dry cutting, we can actually see exactly where the hair is going to fall, exactly where the hair is going to shape. And we're cutting it way more custom to the curls of the hair and the texture and the density of the hair versus someone with just like wavy hair like mine.
Yeah.
You can cut it. It's not
going to be a whole lot different. It's not going to jump up inches. It's just going to slightly change if you were to wear it curly like you did. But we can cut your hair straight and it wouldn't affect it.
I mean, my curl right now, if I pull my hair straight, it's really not jumping up that much more. But someone with that really, really curly hair, when you pull their hair straight, it's like down to here.
Yeah.
And it's jumping up that much. So if you're cutting that on wet, and they're like, yeah, I want it like, just about here. And you cut it there. Guess what? It's jumping
to the chin.
Yeah. So that's something. And if you're curly and you have that hair, you've probably definitely had that hair before.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was getting an inch off and you got 4.
Yeah. So definitely keep that in mind when you're having your consultation with your stylist, cutting for the curl that you have.
Yes. And saying important. Like, maybe that your hair jumps up. Just say that. Say, hey, I know when it's straightened, it's here, but when I wear it curly, it's up to here. So just keep that in mind. And we're like, okay, that's good to know. Like, because you may not always come with it curly, and it's kind of hard to know.
Yeah. And the face shape too. Like, we're always looking at your face shape and where the volume's going to sit, where you want to do it. If you're someone that doesn't want to be able to pull their hair back or do a half up, half down or something, do you want to have pieces that fall down and all that kind of stuff. So really just keeping in mind to like the customization of
what you need. Yeah, absolutely. We're all very different with our curls. Yeah. So
I know. Did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
Do you have any questions?
So do we want to move into
Let's do styling. Sure. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, let's do styling, and we'll show you how to style my hair for an everyday girl that wants to enhance their curl a little bit more. Okay, so we are back, and Robyn and I are going to show you some really easy, kind of tricksy styling techniques for someone like myself that has curly hair but doesn't have the proper haircut, or maybe just wasn't styled properly, to give it some movement and some kind of fake layer dimensions in here. So we're going to show you what to do, what not to do, and how we kind of prep for it. So we're going to pretend I just got out of the shower, and we put all my products in, and we're going to show you what we do from there. So
products are in the hair. We're soaping wet. Now we get out of the shower. We take our towel, and we're going to do what's called a light scrunch. So if you tip your head to the side, you're going to take your towel like so and give it a light scrunch. Like, I'm not being very forceful. You're kind of just getting that extra moisture out of there, so that way it doesn't take you 3 hours to diffuse your hair. So we're just giving a light scrunch all the way over. You might want to tip your head upside down, whatever it is, just to get any of that, especially off the ends. You just want to get some of that moisture out of there. But like I said before, we don't want to mess it up too much. So very gentle movements.
And scrunching.
And if you want, while you're prepping for your day, that's when you can go in and plop it upside down in a towel and let it sit. But once again, be very gentle with that. But we're not doing that today.
And we're going to show them what the diffuser looks like too.
So this bad boy.
People don't know what a diffuser looks like.
This is it here. This is the blow dryer. This is the diffuser attachment. A lot of the blow dryers nowadays come with them. If they don't, you might want to look into getting something. If you wear your hair curly, this is going to save you so much time.
There's universal ones that'll just pop onto anywhere, or even just ask your stylist. We can always order you one in for your blow dryer.
So very important.
Yes. So
we tilt over to the side, same movement, and we're just going to be very gentle about it. Start kind of get in there. You also, if you want to get into that root, kind of pulling up and out a little bit just to get into that root and then leave it. Try not to mess it around. Try not to get all up in here because that's going to start messing things up. Gentle, leave it.
Yeah.
And just do this over and over again. A lot of times if you have really, really, really curly hair, it's almost better to just hover around. Don't want to mess anything up. But if you got wavy hair, you got a little bit more curly hair like myself, we can get right in there and get to that root, get it dry, or at least 70 to 80% dry.
And also the setting on the blow dryer is low and the fan is low. We are not using a blasting, volumizing. No. We're just, it's on low and heat, slow and slow.
Take your time.
Easy bake oven, low and slow, gentle. We're not just like blasting over the cuticle with lots of heat and lots of fan movement. So gentle, gentle, gentle. So now my hair is beautiful and curly, and we are going to show you some really fun styling techniques.
Yes. So this bad boy, this is a mister. It's a spray bottle, nothing super fancy, but there are different types of spray bottles. There's one, if you squirt it, it just sprays out. And you don't want that when you're styling your hair because it'll just jet to the hair and then that's it. With a mister bottle, you mist it all over the hair, you pump it, and it'll give it a nice mist all the way over. It's not going to necessarily just hit one spot. It'll get everything that you want it to. And as a trick from a curly hair person, I actually fill mine up with water most of the way. And then I fill it up a little bit with my leave-in conditioner that I like and a little bit of gel as well. I know that sounds like it's going to get messy and crazy in here, but it doesn't. Give it a good shake before you use it and then respray your hair on that day 2, day 3, or if you missed a spot while you were diffusing, something's too straight, just give it a little mist and then re-scrunch or re-wrap it around as you need to do. And that'll help give you almost like a refresh spray that you know works for you.
It's a really, really good tip and a really good styling too. So mist, not a spray bottle, a mister, like everywhere.
Yes.
It's kind of like our little insurance policy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes it doesn't work. So we got to try again. And then another tip, if you get one of these little curling irons, preferably one that's all the same thickness all the way through. You can have ones that are a little fatter that go down really skinny, but we prefer the nice more even one, especially when you have waves like this. It's just going to make it a little bit more cohesive. And we're not trying to get a lot of volume up here with Tara. We're actually kind of trying to get it more in here.
You have enough volume.
She has volume. We don't need it. Especially the more I play with it, it's just getting bigger.
It's just getting big. Do you see now, like, you guys, when I say I have frizz and I am someone that has to control my frizz. Her even just touching this side has grown like two more inches. Look at the difference. It's like 2 more inches out here now. So I am very opposite than Robyn's hair.
You can only imagine what sleeping on this and stuff will do. So you got to be gentle with it.
Gentle.
So then I will go over here and I will show you. Take your little curling iron, grab a piece up top, and you want to give a little bit more of a defined curl. So if we do this quickly, pull it out, you can see now she's got this ringlet. And it's just going to help define, like say around the face, we want a little bit more of definition. That's what we care about when we see. Look at that, nice little definition versus this side where it's a little bit more fuzzy. This happens a lot of us curly girls. We all do this because when we sleep on it, it gets flat, gets a little frizzy, gets a little crazy, especially right at the top. The wind messes it up. You know, your pet laying on your hair messes it up, whatever it is. So then you just add a couple little curls and you can see that it just gives it a little bit more definition than what was there before. So if we look at this side, no definition. This side, couple little extra, and all you have to do is just the top, really. Yeah. Don't have to go down in here and start putting lots of heat on your hair unless you're finding like there's a straight piece down here. Go ahead and give it a curl. Don't think about which direction it's going because that makes it more natural. One way you can go forward, another you can go back. Just kind of be very natural with it and it'll feel like it's part of your curls very nicely.
Yeah. And you want to make sure you're using a tool that is the appropriate size for your wave. So this, what is this, 1/2 inch?
Yeah.
This is a 1/2 inch. If you have bigger waves, you're going to want to probably use like more of a 1-inch curling iron. So something that's going to match more of your waves. Robyn could use this as well, but I might wrap it a little bit tighter because she has tighter curls than I do. So we're really just wrapping it and keeping it a little bit more loose on me versus someone like Robyn.
I might hold it there for a minute.
Hold it there.
And then drop it. Yeah.
So play around with it. Some girls even use straighteners to kind of curl it or like a bigger barrel. So you're really just using a tool that's going to match your curl a little bit better. So that's very important too, because we want to, again, keep it as natural as possible.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to just do a little tweaking.
Little tricks. Again, we woke up like this. Nobody needs to know that we spent an hour and a half on our curly hair this morning. Nobody needs to know. So now we're going to show you some really cute, easy styling techniques to, again, just give a little bit more shape and a little bit more movement within the hair. We're going to show you what to do and what not to do. So claw clips they're
our best friend.
They're our best friends.
For a reason, and they're back in style for a reason.
Thank God. They're so easy. If you're running out the door, if you're a little frizzy, throw in a clip. So have at it, Robyn. Show them what you do. Show that doo-doo.
We just want to throw it up quickly, grab it all off the hair, and we can see that once it's up, how we've got a nice little style right here. Of course, now we can kind of see that this side isn't as pulled down, so we'll just pull out a couple of these extra pieces, which is why these layers are so important. It creates softness. If we didn't have those,
you can really show them.
Like this just creates a whole different look. It's not a bad look. Of course, some people love that slicked back look. If we want to have it all up and out of the face, we can absolutely do that. You might need an extra bobby pin if you have those really short layers in the front, but not everybody likes to be totally out in the open like this. So that's why those little pieces kind of help bring it down, seeing that little bit of difference.
I think it's really important if you want to pop that back up again, I want to really be vulnerable with people right now.
Hairline.
My hairline. So everyone has a hairline. Everyone's hairline is different. We all have this. We all have this, some more than others. But you can see the difference. How do I go straight here? You can see the difference, how I'm so square all of a sudden here, and my jawline has actually changed. So Robyn, if you want to take one side down and leave the other side up with that softness and that face framing. Beautiful. Yeah, and then keep the other side up there. Lovely. So by pulling this side down, so we're square and we're soft. Do we see how like this is all of a sudden more of like a little bit of a softer, what's the word I'm looking for? Oval.
Oval, yeah.
Oval. My jawline has changed. My forehead line has changed. Right here. So I think that's really important with any hairstyle, even curly or straight, is that it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
But a lot of people have it. Yeah.
Everybody has
this hair is so fragile right here. These little hairs, they're like baby hairs. You gotta be careful with them.
Yeah. And even if you are doing a slick back, you have these little baby hairs and you can pull those down and see how that changed my face shape again. So it's just really important if you are going to do a half up or half down, where your face shape is going to be. So just keep that in mind. Robyn has her bangs, so like she's already set. She's like laughing.
They can come up no problem.
She can come up no problem. Easy. I'm going to pull a little bit more of that softness and really make sure that when we're doing this, that we're keeping it all nice.
Just has to be a few.
Just a few. Yeah. And then even with these pieces here, if they are going a little flat on you, you can go back in with your curling iron and just touch them up a little bit. It takes 2 seconds. Nobody
the hairs
needs to
up.
know. Yeah.
You don't know what's going on up there. It doesn't matter.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Nice and quick.
Oh, God, I love it.
Works very well for, like I said, if you wash your hair every 7 days, it's not going to be perfect by day 5, day 6 by any means. So throw it up in a clip. Go into the gym, throw it up in a nice clip. And then you don't have to worry about it having a line or a kink or messing up your curls too much while you're doing those things. A scrunchie might create that little bit of a line. Even if it's a nice scrunchie, it's still, the clips are so much better for that.
If you are going to use a scrunchie, use a satin scrunchie.
Satin, yes.
Same at nighttime, pillowcases, satin pillowcases are going to save not only a curly hair girl's hair, but just any girl's hair.
Everybody.
Everyone should use one.
It's good for your skin.
Yeah.
All of it.
It's not someone with myself again with the frizz. I actually am quite a heavy sleeper. I don't roll around, but if you are someone that rolls around at night, it's not good. You will wake up and your hair will actually be a little bit more intact than so voluminous. So really, really good key point. We're going to show you one more really fun technique. This is probably one of my favorites and go-tos. And this, again, is just going to make it seem like I have layers in my hair and make it seem, do you want me to go this way more? Oh, there we go. Make it seem like I've got a little bit more texture and, again, those kind of fake layers. So all she's doing, she's kind of cheating like a half up, half down. Yeah, you can go bigger. I don't care.
You like big hair.
I know. I love big hair. I was born in the 80s. I'm not going to age myself, but I am an 80s baby, so it's in my blood. So all Robyn's doing is she's taking little sections, she's twisting it, she's putting a little bobby pin in there. And instead of, again, flattening to the head, when she's putting that bobby pin in, she's going to go in and kind of pull it up a little bit.
And then in towards the hair. And you can pull this out. Create that volume, create that shape. We can kind of see already how it's creating lots of volume in here.
And again, she's leaving out those front
And I'm being gentle with breaking your curls apart. I'm not ripping through. I'm just gently moving it.
This is probably one of my favorite looks. Another thing you can do instead of bobby pins, now that we're coming into the summer and the 90s. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah, I do.
Butterfly clips!
Yes.
You can go with butterfly clips.
Little clips. Make it real
clips. You can put some color in there. So, I mean, the set is a little frizzy from us playing with it. But you can see how it's given... Are you going to go this side now?
Yeah, I can go this side.
Come on this side. You can see how it's just giving it a little bit more volume at the roots, which I think every curly hair girl has a problem with. And then it's just, again, breaking up that curl. It's giving it a little bit of movement, a little bit of dimension, and kind of giving it like a fake layer. Like, look at that shape already.
Perfect. And with one bobby pin.
One bobby pin. And I already have fullness in the back there.
Just one little tiny piece of hair. You could do two just to give it a little bit more of an up-style feel. If you wanted it to feel like you styled your hair a little bit more, throw in 2 bobby pins.
I love it.
Not crazy. Just fluff it up a little bit.
Easy peasy. And worst case, if we didn't like it...
Look, it looks like a little layer.
Little layers.
But it's actually just that top piece.
And if we didn't like this, we would just pull everything down, remist, and start again.
Try again.
I think that's the best part about curly hair.
It is. Yeah.
You can just try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. See, that makes me so much happier than I even walked in with.
Yeah.
I know I am a little crazy, but that's okay.
It's okay.
There we go. So I hope, where'd you go?
I'm here.
I hope we helped you guys with some curly hair and some styling products and tips and tricks. And if you guys have any questions, always please feel free. Reach out on Instagram, call us at the salon.
Yes, we'd love to answer the questions.
We love educating. We love helping people. And at the end of the day, we just want to make everyone's hair feel nice and beautiful and love their hair. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Thanks for coming in, Robyn and Tara. We'll see you guys next episode.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.